Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review for Ready to Love Season 9, Episode 2. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Share with a friend. Hit that notification bell so that you will be updated each and every time I upload a video. Now, y'all, let's get into it if we're going to get into it. When the episode first opens up, it's another mixer. Now, y'all know they had the 10 singles for the first mixer, and now we have the 10 singles for the second mixer. If you want to know what these people look like, I will link it down in the description box with the video of the cast. Okay, because I did a look at the cast and, you know, just first impressions based off looks. And I told you what I thought. So now back to the mess. This is the second mixer. So first up is Vanessa. She arrives first. And she's 35. She's a flight attendant. Beautiful woman. She said her last relationship was with a white man. She was married to him. Okay, girl. She said, but now she's ready and excited to explore more black love. It's giving Wakanda forever. I said, okay, girl, because you know, welcome back, honey. You know, she's been dibbling and dabbling and dating around. And so now she's ready to come on back on this side. Alonzo and his casual fit, they show up next. Baby, Alonzo is giving Target employee realness in this confessional with this red button down on. I said, baby, not this red polo shirt. What aisle is Ready to Love on? I looked at him. I said, what in the world? He don't care nothing about putting his clothes on him right. It's giving very much high school uniform. So Patricia arrives next. Hey, girl. And she said that the type of man that she's looking for and the one that she wants has goals and ambition. Girl, don't we all? Ain't we all looking for the same type of man? Alonzo finds out that Vanessa is a flight attendant. So, you know, he's making a joke like, oh, can I get a buddy pass? I'm like, you ain't joking. He kind of reminds me of Lil Willie. You know, Lil Willie in the Coogee sweater. I put them together. The two clowns that like to play all day. One of them short, one of them tall. Chaz, who is like one of the older men, I think he's 50 years old. Or I think he is 50, 47 or 50, one of them. Chaz is there and he comes up and a few of the other ladies arrived. Baby, Chaz want them all. He's like, I like her, and her. I like girls, 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 girls. I do adore. Baby, he wanted all of them. Do you hear me? Shout out to Jay-Z. I feel like it's a lot of nice looking women at this mixer. It's a better zhuzh. It feels brighter and more exciting at the second mixer than it did the first. Now the men still for me ain't hitting on nothing. Now they a little better, but not much. If I had to choose any of the men, it would probably be Chaz. That's about the only one that halfway looked like something to me. Now this is just me. Anywho, Jonathan arrives, and y'all remember Jonathan if you watched my other video. Jonathan is talking to Laylene. They sit down and Jonathan was into Laylene. Do y'all hear me? So he tells her, you know, I'm Nigerian. He tells her he was married for 2.5 years. He has one child and his son is his best friend. That's his BFF. She tells him she's from Sierra Leone. They talk for a little bit and then Tommy arrives. Tommy arrives for the next set of singles. He tells them that there's no mansion and no extra men because yesterday he hosted a singles mixer for the other 10 people. And I feel like I actually like them breaking it up this way because they can get to know each other better. But then it's kind of like a catch-22 because you get to know these people, but then you meet the other people and it's like, dang, I thought I was vibing with him. Now I'm vibing with him. And then this person is like, well, dang, I really liked him and now she took him. So, I mean, it could be something. But I like the fact that we can focus on who we're actually looking at, even though everything was moving so fast. So, I mean, I just like to memorize the names with the faces. So hopefully I don't get it wrong. Oh, and Jonathan is 36 and he's a recycling center owner. So Tommy tells them that this time the women are up for elimination. So the mixer is underway. Y'all know how they like to do. They get together, they mix, they mingle. Everyone's talking. I feel like Chaz was running game because Laylene sat down and she's like, so what are you looking for? He said, I'm looking for you. Sir, be very for real. Moving forward. Over on the other side, Lamar. Okay, so Lamar is a coach. Has a full-on beard because, you know, they like to give us bald and bearded. But this season, they didn't really do that. They mixed the men up. And child, I've been mixed up ever since. But anywho, Lamar thinks that he's all that in the bag of chips, child. He really does. He was talking to both Vanessa and Rashina. So Lamar reveals to them that he used to be a coach, and Rashina is telling him, that she's divorced. He said he's been divorced for 16 years. She's been divorced for some years as well. And I noticed that it's a lot of divorcees on this season. I said, baby, a lot of these people have been around the block. Okay, let's see if we can still get it together. So Vanessa asked Lamar what he's looking for in a woman. He said he wants a woman that's spontaneous. So they're both kind of looking like, I don't know if that's me. He said, would any one of you skinny dip? So Rashina said, well, you know what? I actually may be, I may be spontaneous. Now, what I noticed about Rashina is I felt like she was a chameleon, given the man that she was talking to. It seems like every man she got with, she said something that would make them want her. And I know that they're up for elimination, but at times it wasn't as authentic as I thought it should be. And that's the thing. I feel like when you let them know, okay, the men are up for elimination, they put their best foot forward and really try to sell themselves. So it's like they're not taking it easy and just getting to know each other. It's like, let me sell myself. Because when she said, oh, I guess I am spontaneous, I'm like, girl. And then she sat with Chaz and she was saying what he wanted, she is. And over here, she's what he wants. And then with the next person, she's what he wants. That's just something that I noticed about Rashina. So Vanessa was like, absolutely not. I'm not doing no skinny dipping. He said, well, what about a nude beach on the first date? Oh, okay. So I can see that his mind is only on one thing, because why would you think a woman would want to get naked with you and strangers on a first date? Vanessa let him know, baby, I'm Monica. I don't get down on the first night. Baby, Vanessa said, hell no. It ain't happening over here. She was totally turned off, and I don't blame her. He's a no. Okay, he is just a no. Next caller. Child, I would have gotten up and excused myself. Do you hear me? I would have said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and just leave you two to it. Side note. Sir, where that side tooth at? It must be down on that nude beach. And you ain't fooling me. No, child, this is a man saying it. Child, they gonna miss a side tooth if they don't do nothing else. So Jonathan is over there talking. And he said the main girl that caught his eye was Maya. And I'm like, didn't you just say the same thing about Laylene? Something ain't right about you. So they started talking about why his marriage didn't last. He said it was a communication issue. Yeah, I can kind of tell that you don't really know how to carry a conversation, because I was watching his interactions with some of the ladies, and he wasn't even, how do I want to say it? He didn't even grasp what they were saying. They were saying one thing and he took it as something totally different. And I'm going to give y'all the example in just a minute. So then he asked her what she was looking for. She said she wants a man to court her. He said he got his dating from TV, Martin and Fresh Prince. Now, sir, I love Martin more than anybody. I can probably quote every single episode and tell you the episode number, date, time, and where I was when I watched it. But Martin and Fresh Prince are not the example of romance and dating. Martin never wanted to take Gina no damn well. He was so cheap it didn't make no sense. Remember, he didn't want to pay the $5. He couldn't pay the $5. And then when Gina was like, Martin, you're wasting my time. We've been shacking up. Okay, I done gave my apartment to Pam. He went to Gina and said, Gina, will you marry me? Damn. Are you happy now? Is that what you were looking at for your dating? Okay. Now, don't get me wrong. He did come back with Brian McKnight and sing and whatnot. And then he proposed to Gina the right way. But I mean, we had to twist his arm. And don't even let me get started on Will from Fresh Prince. Sitting in the basement, sitting on a tricycle, girl, getting on my nerves. Going out of my mind, I thought she was fine. Don't know if her body is hers. That's what you got. Jonathan, do not tell nobody else that, okay? I'm not finna play with you. Over on the other side, they pan over to Chaz, Vanessa, and Rashina. They're all talking. So Patrice, she's sitting there as well, and she revealed that she created a toy because he was saying how he always liked to create things when he was younger. She said, well, I created a toy. It's a $30,000 toy that helps you to do 200 Kegels in 1 minute. She was like, that's before I was celibate. So then Rashina gonna get in her confessional and say, ooh, I'm in shock. Girl, not you clutching your pearls, but you just told Lamar and his missing side tooth you were going to go down there and skinny dip. See, this is what I'm talking about. If you know that ain't you, then you know that ain't you. Over with Vanessa, she's talking to Alonzo, and that's the one that has the dreads. And he's talking about his last relationship didn't like him because he was too friendly. Okay, so for me, that was code for you like to entertain other women and you like to play in their face. Okay, you getting ready to play all day. I don't like them too friendly. I really don't. You don't have to skin and grin with everybody you meet. Everybody your friend. She like my sister. It's a no. Okay? It's a no. And Alonzo is one of those. So it would be a no. Moving forward. So Vanessa and Alonzo are having this awkward conversation. I don't think Vanessa is feeling any of these men that she's met so far. Baby, she feels like we do. I can't see her liking anybody in that first batch either. But we shall see. Over on the other side, Chaz is talking to Rashina. So he's telling her he likes a woman that can be a woman. All of them have on heels and dresses, and it's giving sexy. So she said, well, that's all me. Especially with her working in the beauty industry. She loves to dress up, switch my wig, make them feel like you're cheating. Honey, she switched the wigs up. She switches everything up. She loves to be feminine for her man. So then she tells him that she's been married before and she does have children. And she asked if he wanted kids and what's, stopped him from having kids thus far. Now, he does reveal to her that he did have a son who would have been about 20. But he passed away at 6 months, so he's not eager to really relive that. And I felt so bad for him. I was like, oh, man, I am sorry to hear that. I know that had to really hurt. I felt for him in that moment because it's not often on this show that men are that transparent up front. So I appreciated that. But I do think that Rashina was given a little more than he was. He seems like he may want you to chase him. Now, I'm not sure yet, but that's kind of what it was giving me. I'm just saying. Over on the other side, because everybody talking. Alonzo and Patrice, they're talking. She said she like him young. And he young, sis, but he seemed a little immature. But then she tells him that her last relationship was 18 years ago. Ma'am, say what now? Your last relationship was 18 years ago? Oh, baby, That's why you like him young, child. You ain't had no practice. Oh, no. You ain't ready to love, honey. So they're having a pretty good conversation. They're vibing. To me, Alonzo, upon first impression, he seems like he's okay to hang out with. Same as Lil Willie. I don't mind hanging out with him, getting a good kiki. We can go to happy hour. You can be my wingman, but nothing else. Okay? Because it's not giving that. So then he says, oh, yeah, I liked Patricia. She had that light skin with them tattoos. I said, what does her skin color have to do with it? He really lost major points with me. Well, honey, his points were already at 0, but it was -0 after he started mentioning her light skin. I said, boy, what? Ew. Over on the other side, Jonathan is sitting with Rashina, and she's telling him she's no good at dating. She was like, I don't like no dating, child. I really don't like it. But I am a super feminine woman. So they're kind of talking, but Jonathan was asking questions like they were playing a card game, which showed me that his communication is lacking. He was like, so you cook? What's your favorite movie? You come here often? I was like, child, it's giving 0 chemistry. Let's move on. Moving forward. So Tommy comes in to get them. So they want to play a game called Good on Paper. Basically the same game that they played last episode, but a different name. So the ladies have 4 horseshoes. They have to hold up the name of the man that they think Tommy is describing on this paper. The woman who wins will be safe from elimination. So the first one is he lost himself in his previous marriage trying to please his wife. Now, I immediately said Jonathan because he just seems like the type. They all said Lamar. It was unanimous. Everybody said Lamar, but that was wrong. It was actually Jonathan. I knew it. I knew it based on that fit. That fit looked like I'm just trying to please her. I just played, Jonathan. I just played. Honey, don't y'all get all pissy down in the comments, honey, because some of y'all are already coming in the comments starting mess, okay? This is a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade mixed with a little bit of realism, okay? Because I'm not for the play. So please don't come down here acting a fool, child. It's all in fun. The reason that I don't have kids, I want to give my wife something I've never given anyone else. That was the next one. And it was Alonzo. Here go Patrice talking about, ooh, I can have his baby. Ma'am, let's get to know him first. Okay, we don't know anything about him except that he has dreads. Please, let's get to know him first. So the game is underway. It's moving fast. They're answering the questions. Then the next one is, this man likes to push sex boundaries with threesomes and such. And honey, if you watched the episode, we already knew that that was Lamar. And that was a no-brainer for me because that's Mr. Nude Beach. He is only after one thing, and that is sex, based on that first impression. I was like, child, all he want to do is lay down, okay? It was a tie between Maya and Laylene before it ended. So the last question was, who learned their romance from TV shows such as Martin and Fresh Prince? And of course, we know that that's Jonathan. So the winner was Maya because they actually had that conversation and he told her that verbatim. Okay, girl, you still ready to love. So after the game is over, they have to continue getting to know the men. So day is now night. Everybody's still mingling. Alonzo and Patrice are sitting over with Rashina. And so he asked them to use 3 words to describe great sex. I would decline. Because out of everything, that's what you want to ask me? You could be getting to know me in so many other ways. But you want me to describe great sex in 3 words? Absolutely not. I broke it up into syllables. No, absolutely not. So Rashina used the word nasty. So baby, he was sold after that. Talking about, yeah, I like that she used the word nasty. I'm like, ugh. Patrice asked if he had any fetishes. He said feet. She was like, oh, you like to suck feet? He said, no, but I would rub them. So then Rashina gets in a confessional and she was like, oh, he said he would rub my feet. It's looking like my man, my man, my man. Ma'am. Is that all it takes? Girl, they got a foot massager over on the TikTok shop that can also massage your feet. We don't know nothing about Lonzo. Okay, we don't know nothing but like he like to play. We don't know nothing about him. Between you and Patrice, baby, he gonna get him one of them. He gonna get one of them. Chaz and Vanessa are talking and they're having a really mature conversation, y'all. And he seems like more her speed. I think she likes older men or just men that are able to carry a conversation and that are more mature because they were talking about God and how important he is, which I loved. And he asked her if she wanted to get married. She said that she was married before, but honey, she didn't reveal to him who. Okay, to who? She said she was married before, but what she wants is a partner to get on board with what she values. So he starts asking a little bit about that. And it seems like these two are really hitting it off. I don't know yet, so I don't want to get too excited, but it seems like it might be a go. Over with Patricia, she's talking to Jonathan. So he's like, what color are your toes? She said, they're white. Do you like to suck toes? He said, yeah, I love feet. Child, not all the feet pick men at the mixer. Blech. Ooh, child. And Patricia, why you keep asking everybody that? If you don't like it, then don't ask them. Because she was like, oh, that would be a no for me. I don't think I would like that. Well, why you keep asking? It's giving feet curious, if you ask me. So Patricia is talking to him about dating. And she said that nobody has really caught her attention because she doesn't want just surface level. She wants someone that she can be vulnerable with. And she hasn't been that way in her past relationships because the men did not create a safe space for her to feel comfortable enough to do that. And so she was telling him, I also want to create a safe space for them. He gonna get in his confessional and say, I feel like her guard is up. Where did you get that? Where did you get that? You asked her a question and she shared with you. This is exactly what she was talking about. She got vulnerable and then here you are talking about she's guarded. How is she guarded? If she's letting her guard down enough to tell you that this is what she's looking for, and she even let you know what she hasn't experienced in her past relationships. I feel like Jonathan was a little bit too judgy for my taste, honey, given the material. I said, boy, not you being judgy, Boots. Anywho, moving forward. So Lamar scoots on over to Patricia because now Jonathan has gotten up because baby, the guard is up, according to him. And baby, he didn't even sit down 5 seconds. Before he sat down, she was like, yeah, about the threesomes, that's a no. Okay. Baby, don't come over here with it because it's a damn no. So Tommy comes out to grab the men so they can deliberate. Now, me personally, as soon as he grabbed the men, I say, Poe, Patricia, she going home, honey. She going home. He asked the men who they were feeling. Lamar said Maya. Jonathan said Maya as well. Chaz said Vanessa and Rashina. Alonzo said Patrice. A lot of the men said Laylene. Laylene is stunning. Now, that picture didn't really do her justice because they needed to slick her hat on a little bit and she looked kind of sinister. But in person, she looked beautiful. I was like, okay, Laylene, girl. Girl, give it to him. So with the women, they're outside talking. And Patrice is also saying that she's feeling Alonzo. Patrice here for a good time, not a long time. You hear me? So then Tommy asked them, who are you least connected with? Jonathan said Rashina. Chaz said Patricia. Jonathan said Patricia, as well as Vanessa. Alonzo said Vanessa. It just wasn't there. And I feel like it's so comical that some of these men have so much to say, knowing outside of this show nobody would deal with them. I was like, not some of y'all being real choosy and picky and weird about it. Like, say what? Anywho, outside the ladies were talking, and Vanessa was concerned that it may be her going home because she didn't really gel with too many of the men. But judging from the previews, I already knew that it wasn't Vanessa. That's why I hate when they show too much in the previews, because I knew Vanessa wasn't going home. Now, I was sure that it was Patricia because the men didn't really connect with her. So Alonzo comes out to get the ladies so they can find out who isn't ready to love. Tommy calls up Patricia, Vanessa, and Rashina to the front. And I was shocked at Rashina, and Rashina was shocked too. She said, what I'm doing up here? I'm trying, what? Now, how did I get in it? So he tells Rashina that she left the men wanting more, so she's safe. And as he said that, I was like, what more does she have to give? I feel like she was really very talkative with each man that she was with. Patricia is like, this has to be an episode of Punk'd, because why am I here? Girl, I don't know, but I don't think Ashton Kutcher and them coming out. But MTV don't even play nothing but ridiculousness, so I don't think... Baby, so I don't think it's Ashton Kutcher now, honey. I think he retired his camera. Patricia isn't ready to love. Girl, let me tell you something. I'm speaking directly to you, honey. You won. Trust me. Okay? Don't cry. Because she turned around and started crying. I'm like, girl, don't cry for yourself, Argentina. Now, I noticed the people that with the half pictures, they didn't last. First, Glenn and Patricia. Now, if you go to look at my video where I said something about my impressions of the cast, they were the two that did not have studio photos. So I guess they were the first two to leave and they didn't get a chance to take a picture, but I just thought that that was very coincidental. So Tommy tells them, next time y'all will be introduced to the other singles. Y'all give me a round of applause as I walk away like I'm, Obama. Sorry, goodbye and good night. Goodbye and good night, Tommy. And that was the end of the episode. Listen, the second half of the mixer, I really enjoyed the women, not the men. This pool of men, baby. I'm just so disappointed. I know that there had to have been some other men that y'all could have chosen. Now, not trying to be too hard on the men, but they're giving nothing. They're just giving nothing. Okay. Now, y'all head on over to the Bell Collective review. Y'all know I always beg y'all to watch at the end of this review. Come on over and talk to me on the Bell Collective review. Let's get into it. This is part 3, the final episode of the season. Y'all come over there. Comment down below what you thought about this episode. What did you think about the women? What did you think about the men? Let's talk about it. Also, we are going to start up our Ready to Love lives next week as soon as the singles all meet each other. When it becomes 20 of them, then we're going to get into it like we like to get into it. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.